and welcome back to another edition of the Game Array podcast. I got Tim and Justin with me.
How's it going, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
And I'm Tim as well. And this week we're doing like a sister episode to last week's Flat Earth. We're going deep down to the Hollow Earth.
Which personally I prefer this theory over flat Earth.
I do too. It's a lot. There's a lot more going on, I think, on the inside that I want to be a part of. Comparative to the flat Earth theory, where you're not really doing
at
anything.
least this one has a little bit more
believability.
It's got some juice behind
Not
it.
so much
you know what I mean?
believability. Like, I would love to see a convention of like half flat earthers and half hollow earthers, like meeting up like gangs.
Yeah.
They're just stabbing each other with their mechanical pencils. Nerd switchblade.
Because both ideas fly in the face of the other.
It'd be like a math off. Fucking nerd, just nerd on nerd, man.
Nerd on nerd violence.
I mean, they're all like got asthma, like every one of them having to stop halfway through, hit their fucking inhaler. So like I said, we're following up last week's flat Earth with the Hollow Earth, and this is definitely in the realm of conspiracy for sure. But I do enjoy this one. So like kind of like it's a variation of the flat Earth in a way, because the flat Earth I think has been around longer, but Hollow Earth I think scientifically maybe makes a little bit more sense. And this like entails that the Earth is round, right? It's not flat, but is in fact like essentially like a tennis ball in a way. You know what I mean? Where it's like got an outside surface and it's hollow on the inside, right? It's got its own like sun and like everything. Like there's a lot of shit happening.
Own atmosphere.
Yep.
Oceans.
There's crazy shit happening down there. But like a popular idea amongst the believers of Hollow Earth is that it's like a lush, like tropical, like jungle-esque kind of place. You know what I mean? Where it's like no pollution, everything is fine. You know what I mean? Like the air is breathable. Everything's good. You know what I mean? Like you're not getting like lung cancer from like standing in LA, for instance. You know what I mean? You're just breathing
walking
the fucking
outside.
oxygen. You know, and it's like teeming with life in there too. Which, sure, why not? If you got your own sun in there.
Yeah, and if it's lush and tropical,
it's got its own sun with its own day and night cycles too.
Yeah,
which I haven't quite figured out what they meant by that.
I don't know how that's possible, because like when I was doing some research on it, it was like the sun itself has like a night mode. You know what I mean?
It just turns off every 12
like
hours.
A dark mode, like you just like unplug it or something, or it's like one of those things got like the round switch on it, or you just like move it up with your thumb.
No, dude, it's a clapper.
I mean, I don't understand that part of it really at
well,
all.
like my understanding would be, I would think that if it had its own sun source on the inside like that, but where would it go?
Well, it hides behind the mountains. Are you kidding me? It goes behind the mountains and it hides there until the next day.
Yeah, it just plays peekaboo.
Yeah, like tagging out with the moon. You know what I mean? It's done. Which also, I don't know if they. Yeah, so do they have like a moon too? How the fuck does that work?
I didn't see anything about a moon.
Oh, okay.
When I was doing my research on
we don't want to be too unbelievable.
No. You can't have a moon and a sun inside.
Yeah,
pick one.
That's too far out there.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna believe it.
I would think it'd have to be really small.
It had to be pretty small. It wouldn't even be worth looking at.
No.
But like on the inside of it too, like not just teeming with life, but like specifically, there's super advanced races of like giants, like 10 feet and above tall, like big fuckers. You know what I mean? That there's humans, of course, because you can't go anywhere without the humans being involved. And then, of course, my favorite, there's aliens that are hanging out down there because they can find the hole, no problem.
Yeah.
That's
one of their specialties.
I don't know if you've ever heard an abduction story, but they don't have any trouble finding a hole somewhere.
No, they don't.
They never have.
If they can't find
Which is why
they make it. They'll make a hole.
Which is why this adds a little bit more, like we said, like believability to it.
Yeah.
You adding in, because a lot of theories, you know, they're ancient civilizations who,
Mhm.
yeah, they're thousands of years more advanced than we are.
Sure.
But then you add in aliens to it. Yeah, the aliens, they would have had the technology if there's not actual spheres down there.
Mhm.
Please create like a borehole to make a city down there.
Yeah, like a
You know what I mean?
mining kind of thing. Like they
Yeah.
mined it out.
Yeah,
Well, maybe that's where they got
that as
base.
more.
Yeah, I mean, like if those civilizations are down there, maybe that's where they got the advanced technology from. Was from
True.
the aliens. You know what I mean? Because where else are you gonna get it?
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think they vacated, the surface, and then all of a sudden, went into the caves and became super advanced quicker than the rest of the human race, unless they had help.
No, I mean, I guess that's what happens when you become.
If they went down there, they wouldn't have had the Dark Ages,
Yeah.
stuff like that, impeding scientific advancement.
Well, that's the thing. Like you would think that when you go in the middle of a planet, that it would be dark, but the good news is there's a sun down there too. So
Yeah.
that's the good news. I just like, okay, like, oh my god, all right. See, like the minute like I saw like, oh, it's got a sun in there too. Like that's when I kind of like had that glean of you being a skeptic about it. I was like, you're kind of getting me, man. I was starting to get on board.
Now, if they would have put in, because they always say an actual sun.
Yeah, that's my point.
Now this was like,
wouldn't the gravity just like collapse the fucking surface?
It would just absolutely destroy the planet. Even something that small would have. But if it was like artificially created sun, that would be a different story.
All right.
Well, like I also see a thing where scientists
you could have a nighttime and a daytime.
In the daytime.
That's
well,
true.
yeah, if it's controllable. But I also saw a thing where, like, I don't know, I think it was a biologist or something. Was talking about how it worked. That it would have to be something like an iron, like a chunk of iron that burned so bright that
it's like a sun,
that it gave off light, that it would have to burn so hot.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, isn't the core of the earth iron?
Off a light source.
Yeah.
Yeah, the core of the earth is iron.
Yeah.
So there you go. There you go. Bulletproof.
I mean, like she was just trying to explain maybe that's how they could, explain away a sun.
Right. Well, I mean, you got to find a way to explain it. You can't just say it.
Yeah. You can't just be like, here's a sun. Moving on.
Yeah. You can't just do that. The good news for us too is that the advanced beings, being away from I don't know, like the bullshit that we do up here, that they're extremely peaceful and they decided to kind of mind their own business, stay in their own hood in the center of the earth. You know what I mean? And we don't have to really worry about them that much because if they have all that shit, like most things, humans are apparently super susceptible to attack by anybody at any time. You know what I mean? Because it's always like humans would never stand a chance ever. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, man. We're pretty smart. We're pretty good at surviving.
Any sci-fi writer,
we're definitely survivors.
Ever.
Yeah.
We absolutely get destroyed
all the time. Every single time. Unless Jeff Goldblum's involved. And then
or Keanu Reeves or something like that.
If Will Smith's in charge, we're gonna be fine.
We're gonna punch him right in the face.
We're gonna do it right at the last minute.
See, my thing is this, man. If
we
these
like
guys are down there like super advanced, right?
Yeah.
Why not share that technology with knowing the state of the world?
It's pretty simple, I think.
Slightly more evolved monkeys that live on the surface are incredibly violent.
Yeah, we couldn't handle that, in my opinion. I don't think we could handle that.
Dude, but see, this is the thing. I think 98% of the world, I would say, would be able to be like, cool. But it's the 2% that are in charge.
I disagree.
It's the 2% that would ruin it for everybody.
That would take that technology and use it for nefarious reasons.
Dude, we can't even use the internet like appropriately. You know what I mean? And you're like gonna give us
you ever hear the Rule 34?
For
instance. That's
I've only heard of the Pen 15 error. I only heard of that.
No, Rule 34 is if it exists, there's porn of it.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Dude, that I believe.
I could definitely see some videos on like Pornhub that are like Hollow Earth related. You know what I mean? I'm gonna find that hole. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, here's a hole right here.
Got a bunch of dudes
filling.
banging like flat-chested chicks, like flat earthers.
Oh God. Oh my God. So like besides the fact that they're like super, super peaceful, right? And that they have all this advanced shit, they do send out like UFO like technology to monitor us essentially. And they're like ensuring that we don't go off the fucking reservation destroying ourselves with nuclear weapons, because that could easily happen. What feels like at any moment of any day of, you know what I mean? That can happen anytime. But they're like making sure that that doesn't happen, because that ultimately that hurts them too.
Well, yeah.
Well, if it destroys all that radiation would be able to eventually seep either through the ground or around the earth into the holes.
Well, that's the thing. Like the winds are going to take it up. Yep. And it's going to go right into the fucking, it's going to suck it right into the fucking hole, man.
Yep.
You know, like
See,
a vacuum,
but that's what makes me think that they have the same pollution problems we have.
All right. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay. That makes sense.
Really,
Or maybe the crisp, I don't know, Arctic air cleans.
Yeah,
the,
that
I don't
or-
know, you know,
yeah. If they're super advanced, they'd be able to
figure out a way.
technology
like
to
a big filter that you put in like your fucking air conditioner, like an air conditioner. It just comes through. So sorry. So they're come up in with UFOs, they're checking us out. But like in addition to being immensely advanced with all this technology that they have, it's like the perfect climate down there for these beings to grow like fucking super huge, like super like tall and like strong and shit like that. You're not just like lanky, you know what I mean? Like stick figure
they're
guys.
proportional.
Yeah. They're like, 7, 8 foot tall, 300 pounds, they're big fuckers. And they live like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, way longer than us, because they don't have to deal with the pollution, the shit they put in our food. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff that fucking kills us over time.
Alcohol, tobacco.
Yeah. And like the inside of the earth has been long referred to as Agartha, which is kind of a cool name. I like it.
I kind of like.
I like that name. You know what I mean? It's not like
it sounds more like
stupid.
A place.
It does. I mean, it sounds like a place from like Lord of the Rings, but it's still it does. But it's got a cool ring to it.
It has a name where like if that was a country, you wouldn't second guess it.
Agartha.
You know
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it does have a tinge of like antiquity to it.
It
does.
Know
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like BC type of name. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like the name of like a planet from like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or something. You know what I mean? Like it does have like that kind of sci-fi ring to it. You know what I mean? Which I dig quite a bit.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's definitely cool.
But like it actually gets its name from the mysticism of Eastern cultures, you know what I mean, which a lot of things will, comparative to the Western cultures, right?
Yeah, for sure.
More specifically Americans and Canadians, because
they have a lot.
Do they even have culture in Canada? But I don't know. I mean, I don't
dipping
know.
their fries in mayo, dude, and that's about it.
If you dip your fries in mayo, you're a fucking sociopath. Like don't do that. Like, that is fucking weird, man. So like there's also there's other references to like the inner land essentially, but they're not like filled with like evolving races. It's more like a spiritual kind of place, right? So think of like Christian hell, right, is on the center of the earth. Greeks with Hades, and then Judaism is Sheol. I mean, that's what they're all. That's like their
so it's all
underworld.
Basically 3 different versions of their hell.
Yes, essentially.
Well, I mean, even Hades though wasn't. It was hell and heaven kind of mashed together.
You know what I think about a lot of times is like, man, did religion get lucky with the fact that if your underworld is underground, it is actually hot underground. They really kind of got lucky on that one.
Well,
if it was cold,
they didn't know.
It's a molten core. So,
when they were coming up with this shit, they did not know that for sure. They're like, I think it's hot. We'll just say it's hot, and then they fucking nailed it.
Well, I mean, like, dude, look at even the Russians with their what was that? Their super deep borehole. I forget what the name.
Dude, yes. And that's
they got like 3 miles. No, 7 miles. They got 7 miles.
7 miles down.
I was gonna say I saw something on that where it got 7, 8 miles.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was almost 8 miles.
Yeah.
It was like 7.8 something or something.
Yeah.
But the ground, like the rock, became like so superheated.
Yeah. That's what I saw. They had to stop
like breaking their drills.
Yeah, because it got so hot. That's only 8 miles.
More like putty than actual rock.
That's only 8 miles. So imagine, the one theory about where it's like 500 miles underground.
Yeah, see, I saw a lot where it was 500 to 800 miles.
Like, I mean, that'd be like the sun hot, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's super fucking hot. And they got 8 miles now. You want to know why it was heated down there? Is because fucking Eminem was down there laying some hot fucking lyrics, heating it up down 8 Mile.
The hell, man.
But they put like they put a microphone down there, and dude, I swear to God, like if you literally listen to it, dude, it's scary. It's creepy as fuck, dude. Like it legit sounds like there's just like thousands and thousands of people just screaming in agony. It does
sound like that, but then on the other hand, you got the scientists going, well, that's not what it is. It's the mantle and the crust and the tectonic plates.
They just
all
scream?
Reverberating. No, it was like the what do they call it?
Like tectonic movement, that kind of shit.
No, yeah, it was that, but it was the frequency, like, or whatever, like it was reverberating through the planet, making these eerie sounds.
Well, yeah, because I was going to mention that on, you can also listen to like the sounds of like Venus, Mars.
Yeah, that's really
and they're like creepy as shit.
Yeah, they're super creepy too.
So I guess everything kind of gives off a frequency.
Yeah, I mean, especially this one, man, it was definitely like if you suspend disbelief, you know what I mean, for a minute, it like cut you to the core, dude. It's pretty fucking scary. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's definitely an unsettling sound for sure.
That's why I practice my screaming every day. I'm going down there. At least I might as well sound good.
Right?
That everyone puts it back down there and big. Oh, that's Tim.
Yeah. Like, hey. Told you to pay off.
Already boned up, ready to go, bro. Like,
I told you, practice makes perfect. God damn it.
Take it easy on me.
Well, there's with the Gartha, man. There's not just be able to reach it, but traveling to the inner Earth. Just from the holes,
the big holes. Okay.
Yeah, the big holes. In Tibetan traditions, there are pathways and cities that are hidden, right? And they're connected to Agartha through underground tunnels.
Right.
Yeah. For example, there's actually a pretty famous one. There was a Tibetans believe in a hidden city in the Himalayas called Shambhala.
Which I feel like in the Himalayas, you could easily hide a fucking city.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But then again, I'm getting all that information from movies where it's like all like it's always cloudy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like,
it's like
it's just the Himalayas, dude. It's mountains.
Right.
You can hide a lot of shit in the mountains without even trying that hard.
Yeah, but I feel like now, like Google Earth, you'd see it. You know what I mean?
What they allow you to see.
But then again, there's nothing saying that this place Shambhala isn't built into the mountains.
That's fair. So you wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah, like giant
overhead, like an overhead view of it.
There is plenty of examples of civilizations who dug their cities underground.
Yeah, that's true.
Or into the side of mountains. So
yeah,
we do that now to build bases.
Yeah. No, I mean, dude, there's I can't remember the name of it. I think it's out west.
Like NORAD is in the mountain. Pretty sure NORAD is.
Well, there was a Native American city.
Oh, that's right.
That was able to hold up to 20,000 people.
Yeah.
And it was like a shit hit the fan city.
What's the name of that?
It was a bug out city.
Yeah, it's a bug out city.
That's what it was. Like I don't think people actually lived there. It was
like full of like Native Americans and Alex Jones. That's what it was full of.
But this place, Shambhala, it would have one of these tunnels that led to the inner Earth with all the different races that dwell there.
Right. Okay.
Excuse me. And God damn, sorry. There would be many people. There's many people who have searched for the city throughout history.
Well,
Shambhala was a pretty famous. It's kind of like El Dorado.
Yeah, I was just gonna. Yeah, I was trying to think of what it was. Yeah, it's like the search for El Dorado's gold,
or Atlantis, or something. You know what I mean? Or something like that.
It's this mythical city that's supposed to have all these
riches,
resources, and technology we haven't ever seen. There was a man by the name of Nicholas. I'm probably gonna mess it. Roerich.
Yep.
Roerich.
Yeah.
He was a Russian mystic. Yeah.
Okay.
Which, that kind of sounds like Aleister Crowley a little bit.
It sounds like Rasputin.
So, yeah, that's what I was actually. That's who I was.
Yeah,
Rasputin, not Aleister Crowley. But he never found it. No one ever has. You know what I mean? Like, no one's ever found Shambhala.
Then what is he famous for?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
just
why
looking?
even bother? Why even bother?
I think he was
writing about it?
probably just one of the most famous people to go looking for it.
Like, he just showed up. He's like, nope. Put his hand up to his eye, made like the binoculars with his hand. He's like, I don't see anything.
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks for your donation.
Yeah.
Like, no, ain't there.
The world's gonna remember me for this.
And they did.
They did. We're talking about it.
Did.
It worked.
About him.
Yeah, it's a fucking scam.
But see, other people have connected Agartha to the Hindu realm of Aryavarta. Or
okay.
Aryavart.
Yeah, Aryavarta.
I think
Aryavarta.
Yeah, and that means the abode of the excellent ones.
So, like, what this reminds me of is like, you remember like in Bill and Ted where they go to the future and they meet like the excellent people that are like the thing and they all do like air guitar and shit.
Yeah,
that's what I imagine when I think of this. Because it was like in a cave.
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah, okay.
It was like underground.
Go to the excellent one.
The excellent to each other.
These, quote unquote excellent ones, right? They ruled the land for thousands of years until the Great War and the Mahabharata.
Yeah, so
I
like
mess that name up every time.
Yeah, I mean that one is like
is
where
that the war
they had the flying,
the
flying ships and all the Vimanas and all that stuff was in it.
Yeah.
So which actually, like now that I'm thinking about it, kind of makes sense that like if these dudes like live down there and during that fight, if they have like advanced UFO technology and shit, that kind of makes sense now with what people are saying is there currently.
Yeah,
you may sort of
that's kind of what
tracks.
Some conspiracy theorists think the Vimana was
from that.
Yeah, well, it was that they weren't actually gods. I mean, they were spaceships,
alien. Yeah,
fighting over Earth,
right?
In skies.
Yeah, but with that kind of technology, don't you think they could have just wiped us out and just took over? You know what I mean?
Well, see, it was the battle between gods, not.
So you think maybe
us and gods,
two separate alien type races?
Yeah, exactly. It was them fighting it. They were just fighting each other.
Yeah,
not necessarily over Earth.
Yeah, no, they're probably fighting over Earth.
Then what happened? It's all bullshit.
They weren't trying to kill us.
How come there's not aliens like right now as president?
Yeah,
it's all bullshit. Right. If they won, they're just like, you know what? This is too much responsibility. I don't want to fucking do it.
Well, I mean, dude, like you go back to the lizard people, where they control the world. They just do it in shadows.
Yeah, the reptilians are the shadow government.
So,
right.
Because a lot of those stories, dude, it's you have the good race aliens who's trying to keep us free.
Yeah.
Going against whatever race is trying to enslave us.
Yeah, it's like a fucking Marvel movie.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
but playing out in real life.
Yeah, but yeah.
See, like I would think
India.
about it like this. With aliens, especially if the reptilian, it takes me back. This shows my age, but to me, it'd be like the show V.
No, your face shows your age. But V, yes, but V was awesome because it had Robert Englund in it.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, V was awesome.
But I would think it would be like that. Like they would just show up, pretend to help, and then all of a sudden be like, all right, now we take over there and shit you can do about it.
Yeah.
Because we are so technologically superior.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that, like in India too, that it was like a Bollywood Marvel movie where it's just like really like it's almost like soap opera.
Yeah,
like
over the top.
Like really
battle of aliens. Yeah. I'm sure there's a dance number in there somewhere.
But dude, there are some people who believe that these excellent ones are closely related to a lot of the ancient and lost civilizations, like the Mu, Atlantis, and Lemuria.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lemuria.
Yeah.
But due to the cataclysmic events on the surface of the earth, these civilizations were forced to go underground to what then became known as Agartha.
Agartha, yeah. So like that's kind of almost like in the biblical tales of the flood, and then in Sumerians with Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
Or the deluge. And all that kind of like earthly cataclysmic shit happened essentially,
And
it
they were
was like
just
an
like,
extinction level
peace.
event, and then they just were like, nope, and then they dipped out into
Burrowed on
sun
the
and
ground.
earth. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean,
Well,
there's
I mean, Atlantis is, I mean, ain't that supposed to be, I mean, that's kind of like supposed to be an ocean going city to begin with, wasn't it?
In Aquaman.
No, I don't mean in the water, bro.
No,
I mean,
You mean like on
Originally,
top?
yes,
When it
was
was like
three
before it? Oh, yeah,
yeah, like
concentric
before this
circles.
cataclysmic
Yes.
event.
Yes.
See, this is what
Which,
never
by the
Concentric
way,
happened.
he's right. Concentric circles.
know that
It was
they-
like circles all the way around it and stuff like that. It was like a port, like a huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
city
one.
port,
Yeah, it was
No,
three
you're right. You're
different
right.
circles.
Yeah, you're right.
But there's a couple people who think they might have found the location where Atlantis was.
In like the Mediterranean,
I think it was in the Mediterranean.
because there's
It was,
another one too that's like in
They found they found a
Bahamas.
bunch of
Bimini Road and
islands
all that.
that kind of resemble what
It was Plato. I think.
Atlantis was supposed to be.
Yeah, Plato described it. I think. It was
Yeah.
him. Mhm.
Well, see, this is another thing explained to me now. If it was a great cataclysmic flood, would not also have flooded these caverns?
Well, yeah.
That's where their oceans came from.
And then when it receded,
I don't fucking know.
and then it was land again.
This is
You know what I mean?
who knows, man.
Yeah. Don't ask questions. All right.
Yeah.
It's like breaking down the
sit
logic of
there.
a commercial.
Yeah.
It's
Just
just
sit there
something.
and accept what we're saying.
Yeah, just
point.
accept it as fact.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
shut up. Stop asking your questions.
But like scientifically though, like the first person who ever tried to theorize Hollow Earth.
Like scientifically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Was Edmund Halley.
Hmm.
Whose name is is now synonymous with Halley's Comet.
Sure.
Yeah, he was the one who came up with it.
Yeah. So like essentially, like what I would like to do is like start another cult, but like instead of Hale Bop, I want to do the Haley's Comet.
Yeah. You have a lot more time to play with.
I was gonna say that
Yeah.
way if shit don't work out before your days are numbered, you're like,
Well, they hear you. That's why.
they won't never know. You still got 76 more years to wait. man.
Yeah.
I won't be alive by the time it comes around
Yeah.
again. I'm good.
I mean, I just
But
want
he-
something to hand to my kids. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Here, son.
Take this
here's the
mansion
cult.
and this vast amount of
I
wealth.
don't have the credit to start a business, so I'll just. But I got
Start a
enough
cult.
street. I got enough street credit to start a cult.
Well, he came up with this theory in 1692, right? That in this theory, the Earth is a number of spherical shells
Mhm.
all spinning in different directions
Right,
with around a central core. So that's where,
like the iron kind of thing.
like the iron core. Then that's where the Earth gets its
Magnetic field, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. Okay.
From them all spinning in different directions.
Okay.
And the
Kinda like
space
a
in between these
gyroscope
spheres,
almost.
Like a
Yeah.
magnetron, I think
Yeah.
too does that.
and the space in between these spheres would have their own environment capable of supporting some kind of life. And he came up with this theory to try to explain the Aurora Borealis.
Yeah, I think it was like when I was reading it too. So I think what he was saying is that like the Aurora Borealis was like gas escaping from like the space in between those spheres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think like
It
a
was
lot
like
of the
luminous gas.
yeah, exactly right. And then it was also in a way to describe because he was seeing some like weird abnormalities on like a compass that he had, and like he was like trying to figure out like why is it like spinning essentially like when he gets to like certain spots like it doesn't point in either any of the cardinal directions, it just spins like a fucking top, and so he tried to explain it that way.
Yeah, that's how he was trying to. He never realized that throughout the world there are deposits of like iron and stuff like that throws off compasses.
Right.
Well, especially at the poles.
Yeah.
Now we
Yeah,
know
so that's
better.
why he was trying to explain them because that'd be the only way in his mind. Well, at the time, that could happen.
Right.
I mean, man, you're talking what, 400 years? You know what I mean? 400 years ago, 500
Yeah.
years ago, 600. No, yeah.
Are you crunching them numbers all right there, man?
I think he's crashing.
Are you doing this on an abacus?
So it's like, back then, like I could get him thinking like that.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, literally back then you could tell somebody anything and they're going to be like, yep.
If you sound
Explain.
Sounds
convincing
good to
enough.
me.
Yeah, if you sound convincing enough.
Yeah, that
There's a
explains
lot
it.
of
Yeah, okay.
crazy theories going around.
Yeah, it's like, well, how does the Earth stay up? I was like, well, there's this giant black dude in a basketball uniform just spinning it on his fingers, and it says Harlem Globetrotters on it. It's like you can just tell people shit, man. It didn't matter. You didn't have any proof.
You didn't need any.
No, proof is overrated.
Science is overrated.
That's why I choose not to believe in it anymore.
Science.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with whatever theory fits me the best.
Whatever theories hot at the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'll
I'll just jump on the bandwagon. You know? Which one's got the most followers? That's got to be right.
Nailed it. That's got to be the true one.
Yeah, it's got to be. Jump. Moving forward, ahead in time, a lot.
Yeah.
1946, the U.S. government, right after World War II, they sent Admiral Richard Byrd, which I'm sure you guys have heard of.
Yep.
To the Antarctic for further polar exploration and allegedly tested Arctic military equipment.
Yeah, Operation High Jump.
Yeah.
So like, not only that, dude, but they were like sent with like fleets of battle ready ships.
It was
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a battle. Yeah,
it was a battle formation. Yeah, it was a battle formation, dude.
Yeah, I think they went with 13 ships.
Yeah,
icebreakers, like
an aircraft carrier.
Yep, everything.
Couple destroyers.
You don't send that shit down there.
Yeah, the submarine
just to look around. You know what I mean? But they were a little worried because nobody's really ever fucking been there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had the claims.
Not the way that they can do it at that time.
Yeah, the thing that was just a cover up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were going there to find some people, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Well, yeah, I guess
the only reason.
Yeah, that's the theory.
Yep.
Is that, the Nazis had a base up there or something, and that's why they really went there under the guise of Operation High Jump, I guess. But one of his trips to the Arctic stuck out a lot more than the other ones, man. And according to Byrd's journal, he flew past the South Pole and ended up in a land that was lush and warm and had a warm climate.
Yeah, I think that too. Like when he went and did that, it like broke some sort of like world record. That like nobody had ever done that shit before. You know what I mean?
See,
like
the problem is too is that you have
like nobody had
our
claims to the pole. They like kind of almost made it and then like turned around, but like nobody.
There are even claims that he essentially kind of took credit.
Well, yeah,
from other people.
He's the admiral. That's literally what he does.
No, I mean
it's his operation.
People who weren't part of the military actually made the trip.
Okay, I got you.
And then, but he was never able to actually make it there in a plane.
Oh,
okay. So he kind of got tagged with the credit for doing it.
Okay.
Because there's certain claims where it was like he eventually did it, but it was 20 years after he was supposedly done it, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, I did watch that. If you ever seen that movie, The Secret Land, and I mean, you can look at the film for what you want to look at it for, see how you want to interpret it. But I mean, it did kind of show about 300 miles in, man. Like, no, I mean, it was a ways in, but it was like a 300 square mile radius of, bro. There was like no snow. I mean, very little,
right.
I mean? Very little ice. And I guess the water was like 38 degrees, 40 degrees, which is warm.
It's above freezing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and there was like, small plant life. I mean, I saw that. I mean,
a lot of people see that movie as when the government, for like Roswell.
Yeah.
When they said, hey, we found a flying saucer, and then came back and said no. A lot of people see that movie as the government kind of going, hey, look what we found.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To hide what they were really there for.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that movie actually won awards.
Yeah. Best movie for disinformation.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of conspiracy theorists see it as like the government unofficially announcing that they found the entrance to Agartha.
They would never do anything that cool.
Let me ask you this. Why does why is it always like these entrances to these, cities and mystical places are always in like the most remote, hard to get to
Yeah, they can't just be in like
places,
Detroit.
man. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I
they
don't know,
gotta
man.
be.
I don't know if I'd want to go find it if it was in Detroit. I think I'd rather go to fucking Antarctica.
Yeah. It's like, fuck that, y'all go
Well,
deal
you know
with
what I
that.
mean?
I
It's
ain't
like
going-
they're never.
Yeah, I don't own a gun
Okay.
and I'm not a juggalo. I have no reason to be in fucking Detroit. You know?
Yeah, it's never like, oh, hey, I mean, you can go to Canada real quick.
Yeah,
And like Nova Scotia, there's a damn entrance way to it.
yeah,
Yeah, it's always somewhere so remote, man, that humans can't get there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or you risk life and limb to do it.
yeah. That's
But
the
I mean,
idea.
according
I
to
guess.
Bird, man, in his journal, I mean, if you want to believe that,
I do. I do want to believe
past
it.
the South Pole and ended up in a land that was lush and warm and climate.
Right. Just like all the other shit.
Yeah, which is, I guess the idea was already there
Hmm.
of what to expect. You know what I
Right.
mean? If you did find it.
Right.
But the land beyond the pole had living mammoth-like creatures in an ancient advanced race of humans. So now we got woolly mammoths involved.
I mean, I can at least see the mammoths because they went extinct relatively not that long ago. mean,
I
think
guess on the
about
grand scale
timeline.
of things, yeah, it really wasn't all that long.
Like I think the
ago.
mammoths were still around when the Great Pyramid was built.
What?
Yeah,
I don't know
Is
if I've
that-
ever heard that. but-
yeah. It's
Well,
they
yeah, because you
haven't
see like the
been gone
depictions
that
of like
long.
Native Americans hunting them and shit.
Yeah,
So-
like they haven't
Yeah.
been gone that long.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
can
like
think
it wouldn't
about
be
that.
out of the realm possibility if a place like this existed that they might
get-
still be around.
But I
Right.
guess if it's lush and warm and enough went underground,
Yeah.
they'd probably be able to maintain
Breeding
a
population.
population.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I guess. But while in flight, his plane was ordered to land by the when he was in his plane, he was
Yeah.
flying over and he was told to land by the inhabitants of the Hollow Earth and was intercepted by a saucer-like craft.
Woo!
Here we go. Now we're back on the aliens.
That would be. Yeah.
Love it.
You gotta imagine that's terrifying. You're just like, hey, by the way, land. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't
And
expecting
you-
that.
and you look out and you're just looking at a thing that's just kind of hovering there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like
You're like,
he's
Pull
just
it
pointing
over.
down. Yeah, it's like pull over. But,
I hate.
but I bet even more terrifying though was once he was grounded, he was greeted by the emissaries of the Hollow Earth, and then it was speculated that he was now in Agartha. All right. Well, apparently once Bird hit the ground, he was greeted by the emissaries, which explained to him their extreme concern for the United States for using nuclear bombs during World War II.
I think that was most people's concern.
Yeah, I would think so, especially after what it did, man.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. I
You
think
know?
most countries were like,
Yeah, like we
let's
probably
not piss
shouldn't
them
do
off right
this.
now.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think that, the super advanced human race that, or race that's inside, they can no longer,
Ignore.
we're just going to leave them alone, man. Like, we're just going to do our
They couldn't be
thing.
passive anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, now they're dropping nuclear bombs.
Well, I mean, if you want to look at it this way, like if they're coming up here to keep an eye on us, there are, let's say, questionable videos of UFOs going to missile silos
Hmm.
and like shooting a laser like thing at them and
Yeah.
actually shutting the missile down,
Yeah. It did it
like
in
completely shutting down the whole thing.
I think it was in like Montana or one of those
Yep,
like
it
Midwest.
was one of those hidden silo.
Yeah, they did
things.
it to like 10 missiles, and those missiles are not connected. Like they all have like their individual
They're all individual.
system.
So they're
you know
not
what
on
I
a
mean?
network.
Yeah, they're not on a network. They're all
Yeah.
localized.
Yeah, and they shut down every last one of them.
Yep.
So does that mean that, when they showed up and shut them down, that we were on the brink of nuclear war at the time? Or did
I think
just
they
show
were
up
just they just
to
wanted
say,
to
yo, like we
this is
can
what
do
we can
this.
do this. Yeah.
Yeah, just to let us know
Yeah,
if
it
we
was-
want to.
I'm pretty sure they did it to the Russians too.
Yeah, it was more or less a warning.
A show of power, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're still gonna let y'all do your thing.
Right.
But just so you
But
know, we
this-
could stop this whenever
Yeah.
we feel like.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is where we draw the line.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess it, it made sense, man. But, but they were using Byrd as their messenger, I think, because, he was a rear admiral, right?
Yeah.
Or was he?
Well,
was
not
he a
just that, too,
full-blown
but he
admiral?
was one of the, he was the
At the
first
time,
one
he's
they
probably
got.
one of the most famous people on the planet at the time, also.
Yeah.
And you gotta think back then, man, them war guys, man, they were like,
They were big deals.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
huge,
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
heroes, man.
Yeah.
And so they probably thought he'd be a good emissary. Like, yo, they're telling us we need to chill out
Yeah.
and tone it down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were
They
kind
were
of
probably
going off the rails on a crazy train.
Yeah, they're probably hoping that at least the U.S. government would kind of heed his warning.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's somebody that the big dogs are going to listen to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then, I mean, apparently in a Chilean,
Yeah.
Janillan, huh?
yeah, Chilean,
Yeah.
in a Chilean newspaper.
You ever been to Chinilia? It's great,
Man,
great country.
family friendly.
Yeah. But the name of the newspaper was like El Mercurio.
Okay.
Apparently, Board told a reporter that the U.S. and the world should be prepared for potential hostile planes and saucer-shaped vehicles coming out of the polar regions that were supposedly basically coming out of the north and south entrances to the Hollow Earth.
All right. I like it. I like everything about it.
But I do know that Byrd did say something to the U.S. government about. He didn't necessarily say. Allegedly, he didn't say that it was saucers and aliens, but that America should be concerned with being attacked from them.
Right. From shit down in the poles.
Region.
Yeah.
What I mean? Keep an eye on them. Just don't assume they're not gonna,
Right.
come at you that way.
Yeah.
And basically, in a more expansive theory about his encounters, he allegedly saw Nazi symbolism on some of these craft in the Arctic.
Right.
Which, I mean, the Nazis show up in a lot of conspiracy theories now.
Well, they do.
The thing is,
they're everywhere.
I mean, they were down there though. They went down.
No, they
flew
were
over. They
100%.
dropped a bunch of swastika flags, and they said, and they called it, I think it was New Schwabenland. And then they're like, okay, this is our shit.
Well, that's
now.
what Hitler wanted. That was his.
Yeah.
Shit hit the fan place.
Well, like Hitler was like
if
a
he
huge
lost the
believer
war-
in this kind of shit, though.
Yeah.
Like, he was a
If he
big believer
lost the
in this
war,
stuff.
he was gonna. Him and like top brass were gonna go there.
That was like their escape plan.
Yeah, and they had women set for like breeding.
Yeah.
They had the women ready to go. They were getting ready to actually build a base out there.
Yeah.
Because there was several missions out to the Arctic.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but wasn't also like the Nazi Fool Society involved with them because like the whole occult and esoteric.
Yeah.
The
Part of,
Thule
like-
Society was a part of it.
Was a big part of it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like them thinking that this stuff had like, like when they were looking for the Ark and all that shit, man, Holy Grail, whatever.
Yeah.
All these religious artifacts that they all kind of held some kind of secret power that would give them an advantage in war.
Yeah. It was like
Yeah,
a
he
real
still
life
got his ass
fucking Indiana Jones movie. It was like a real life
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
it
like
version
was.
of
real
that.
shit.
Like they were really looking for that kind of shit, like the Ark of the Covenant and like
mean,
this
dude,
the Spear
in
of Destiny and stuff like that,
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So this is right up Hitler's alley, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Easy.
believing in this. And then if I'm not mistaken, wasn't the names the whole Aryan thing? Like there are like Arthurians
Mhm.
or
No, like
something
the
like that
Aryans
was
were like the original.
were inside where the race
People
was
who
the race that
controlled
was
the world.
inside.
Yeah. Well, I think too that like the Aryans are supposed to have been from like another planet or something too, that they
Yeah.
were like advanced beings and shit
Advanced
like
beings
that.
from another
Yeah, they were
planet.
the first
Mhm.
like rulers of the planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like this is right up his alley, man. And
Yeah.
You
He
know,
was
I-
insane.
Yeah.
He was fucking
you know what I'm
insane.
saying? But he spent resources, man. Like, I mean, they were up there in like what, 38, 39?
Yeah. They were up there early.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, is that I think they were also doing it during the war. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't
They
just
didn't think they were going to lose, man.
no.
I mean, when Burr was there, bro, they did find Nazi memorabilia up there.
Yeah.
I mean, like, well, Nazi, whatever, artifacts,
equipment,
right?
like Nazi stuff,
right?
So, I mean, there ain't no doubt that they were there.
No, they were definitely there. That's a fact.
I mean, there's even some theories that Bird actually found. What was it? New Schwabenland?
Yeah,
I think is what you said. Yeah,
yeah.
Like he actually found that, and they had to, and they engaged him, and the Nazis actually fought him back with like flying saucers, and
right? And that's where he saw the swastikas and the iron crosses and all that shit on the
like
flying
where he
saucers,
actually they engaged them in like air-to-air combat and lost.
Yeah, and that's why, because the original high jump I think was supposed to be 6 months or 8 months, and they came back in 3 or 4.
2.
Yeah, they came back.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, 2 months.
It was 2 because I was going to mention that. Yeah, the original projected time was 6 months, and 2 months later they were back.
Yeah,
and dudes died. You know what I mean? Like there's people that died.
The equipment they left with was not the equipment they came back with.
Right.
They were missing a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, can you imagine the Shiza videos going on down there? All Germans all the time. Ay, ay, ay. I don't know if I want to go there.
No.
Smell.
But I mean, I don't know, dude. I guess if you're gonna escape to a place and make it your getaway hideout, if things don't go right,
right?
Why not a lush tropical?
Especially if they were able to find it.
Yeah.
If they were down there, they fucking.
But you know what it is? That shit was like in that movie Star Wars on Hoth, bro, where they were like dug into ice.
Yeah.
That's what that shit was up there.
Yeah. Hey, it was like essentially like fucking Nazi igloos.
Yeah. It's like, fuck all that.
Yeah. It's fucking, it's so fucking cold down there, man. Pick a different place.
Let's make our escape plan to the coldest fucking place on the planet.
And that would be the perfect escape.
Because nobody's gonna go down there. Because it's also hard to fucking like bring your army down there too. And then
like if you already have an established army down there, it's a lot easier to defend against. If you want to bring ships in, which is the only way you're going to get there, you have to bring icebreakers.
Right. I was just going to say that, man.
Disable their icebreakers, they can't get through.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you watch the movie, I mean, you see the trouble High Jump had. Even with the icebreakers, man, ships, like the ice was piercing its hull. Like, the U-boat got stuck.
Mm.
I mean, that's the extremes it takes to get to these places.
Yeah. So, I mean, it would be a perfect defensible location.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't even be able to get planes out there because it's so fucking cold.
Yeah. And like the shit will like freeze up, the engines, propellers, and all that shit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, not to mention too, on those kind of the flat plains of ice, that wind picks up hard.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to stop it.
Yeah.
There's no hills, there's no mountains.
Yeah, it's just open tundra.
Well, essentially there's mountains, but they're just made out of fucking ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's nothing there there's no natural resources, so you can't set up a base.
Right.
It's like every time you go, you'd have to attack and then leave.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have time to set up like a forward base there.
Right.
No. Yeah, because there's no getting supplies.
No, not easily, anyways.
Yeah.
Well, you just go into the center of the earth and fucking get it. It's not that hard.
Yeah. You just go down there and I
think we're thinking too hard about
some
it.
European stuff down there. Your resources are mine now.
Yeah. Humans have never done that.
That's never.
We ain't known for doing that.
Just wiping out populations. We don't do that.
No. But I mean, in more recent times though, there's actually a dude who's heading like the Hollow Earth movement. Like he's spearheading it by the name of Rodney Cliff.
Okay.
I don't know if you have heard of him or not.
No, I mean it's the perfect name for thinking there's a hole in the fucking earth.
Yeah.
Because guess what happens before you get to the hole? There's a fucking cliff.
Yeah. Well, technically, I think what they say is the hole is so wide, it's not just like a vertical shaft. It's an incline.
Okay.
Down.
All right.
But in any case.
Yeah.
But he wrote a book called World Top Secret. Our Earth is hollow. Capital is.
God dang right it is.
Like the ego he put into the title alone.
Yeah.
That's
Just the
without
emphasis.
question. That's without question saying, I believe this with all my heart,
Yep.
and I don't care what the proof says.
Yeah, I don't care what
Yeah.
science
I
says.
don't care what
Yeah.
anybody else says. I
Yeah.
am right.
Yes.
I mean, dude, he's on record stating like, how'd he put it? It was, I can't believe the flat earthers believe that because everything points to being a hollow earth.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like a
He's
beef.
like, they're silly or something like that for believing the flat
Yeah.
earth.
There's like a beef between hollow earthers and flat earthers.
Yeah.
Like there's a legit beef for that. Like we were
Yeah.
joking about it earlier, but it's like a real thing.
Yeah.
yeah, they do not like each other.
Oh, it's literally like the opposite opinion.
Yep.
I mean, you
100%.
cannot get more opposite than that.
Yeah,
No.
complete 180. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, his conception of the hollow earth, yeah, it kind of goes like this. I mean, like the
Right.
Earth's crust, or its quote unquote shell, is 800 miles thick from
Ooh.
outside edge to the inner edge.
Okay.
So in essence, the Earth is like half surface weight
Okay.
in a hollow space, followed by something else, is how he puts it.
Right. Which is exactly what you want to put in a book, is some vague term like that.
Yeah. Especially
you-
in quotation marks.
Yeah.
When you
Something
put,
else.
Especially-
it is hollow.
Yeah, when you capitalize words in your title of your fucking book
Yeah.
to be a dick, you know what I mean? Like that's come on. You gotta
Well,
do
see,
better
no,
than
that's
that.
something
You gotta do better
else.
than that.
leaves it open for interpretation.
Yeah.
Interpretation is one word to
Yeah.
use.
Well,
Yeah,
it'd
it's
be
like
if
I'm not
somebody-
telling you what it is. I'm just saying.
if somebody in the movement comes up with a great idea, that's what I was meaning. I wanted you guys
exactly.
to come up with it on
Yes,
your own.
it's an
That was
excellent
just something
fucking
else.
out. It's an excellent
Yeah.
out for not knowing what you're fucking talking about. It's a great
Yeah.
out for that.
But the land, these other the inside, we already said has ancient races.
Right. And that's the something else, I guess, is what he was referring to. It's like wherever they live in there.
Yeah, I kind of think like when I hear that, dude, I kind of like Journey to the Center of the Earth
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of vibes to it.
Like Land of the Lost.
Yeah. But dude, he was so gun-ho about his theory that he actually planned a trip to the North Pole, leaving from Russia. Like this dude was
I
Okay.
mean, I
So
guess
you're
you're
going,
halfway
so you're
there.
going to the worst place in the world from the worst place in the world.
Yeah.
God damn, man. We from like Greenland. It seems like it's closer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like-
just a little bit. But of course, the whole trip, it was meant to find the entrance to the Hollow Earth and
Yeah.
to prove what lies inside.
Yes.
So he could be proven right. However, though, this trip, it cost $20,000 a person.
It's expensive.
Yeah, that's
Just
a
a
little
little
pricey.
bit. And surprisingly, it was canceled.
Really?
I don't know if these people got their money back, but
So you're trying to tell
somehow I
me
doubt it.
you're trying to tell me that somebody who believes that the earth is hollow is not flush with cash?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like I doubt very highly these people got their money back on this.
Oh, they didn't get their money back. Especially if they were giving it to fucking Russia.
Yeah.
I
There
can't
was
their
a,
No,
money
they weren't
back.
even giving it to Russia. They were giving it to him for
Oh, yeah, they didn't get
expenses.
that back. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he had to hire a guide and getting the food together and getting the equipment together.
Right.
yeah, I guess rent the ship, I mean, you have to
Yeah.
rent the ship, the
But even-
icebreaker.
Despite the fact that this got canceled, it didn't, like, the theory still lives on, like stronger than ever.
Right.
Even with the just it kind of seems to me like he did it and then he got a couple $100,000 in his pocket and said, oh, sorry,
Well,
Russia
yeah.
won't let us leave.
Well, yeah, thanks for the house, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know how Russia is, man.
Well, he took that $20,000 from each person, changed his name to Rodney Cragg because it's another it's like a synonym for Cliff, and nobody ever found him again.
No. But one of the largest, like, I guess it'd be more recent conspiracy theories about Hollow Earth involves NASA, which
Of
goes
course it
right back
does.
to last week
I
with
was gonna say,
Flat Earth.
Yeah.
of
NASA
course it
shows up
does.
in a lot of these things.
Yeah.
And it's believed by those who like support the Hollow Earth
Right.
that NASA has been hiding pictures from space that clearly show the large holes on the poles. So it's almost mirrors exactly what the flat earthers were saying.
Well, the distinct difference, I think, is that one, the flat earthers don't think space is even real, or at least if it's not real, we've never been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at least with this, we're like, okay, well, space is real, and there's satellites taking pictures and shit. But
because even
it's
like
still the parallel that
flat earthers,
NASA's hiding it. You know what I mean? It's the same idea.
Yeah, that NASA was doctoring the pictures from the satellites.
Apparently, they had people that was their fucking job.
Yeah.
Was
to
what
do
the
that.
doctor the whole?
No, was the doctor like any image that NASA takes? If there's something anomalous in it, is their job is to like airbrush it out and make it
just make
not
it
look like
disappear.
anything, like a smudge.
Well, I mean,
or
dude,
something.
even what was that? A couple years back, something showed up on one of their live feeds, and they cut the feed.
Yeah, that I remember. Something about UFO, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
cut
some
the
people
live
were starting
feed.
to think that they caught a UFO on
Mhm.
camera out there, and NASA cut the feed before they could.
Yeah.
Before
Conveniently.
kind of came
Yeah.
about it.
They do that a lot. Well, they were doing it a lot when they had the live feed from the SDS missions and ISS.
I mean, dude, you got claims from astronauts that are going like, NASA, there's fucking spaceships outside.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, dude,
I can look them right. I'm looking them dead in the eye.
I've heard
like,
some
no-
audio of like astronauts saying, "What the
Space
hell is that
crash.
over there? What's flying? Something just flew by us."
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
there's audio of astronauts saying that shit.
Well, allegedly, it's not real. Even
Yeah.
though it was caught off the NASA channel.
Yeah. Especially
they
back then
claim-
when they weren't really censoring shit that fast yet. You know what I mean? Like you're talking back in the 60s, 70s, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it would take a lot more than just cutting the feed. 'Cause
But I
even that would
mean-
take a minute.
Yeah.
But I mean, they claim that these images that NASA captured that would show like these entrances, like we've just been saying, they've been doctor concealed these giant holes. Like some people say, like, if you see some of the pictures, it almost looks like they did it on Photoshop.
Like they added the hole.
No, like they
Oh,
put something dark and then tried to cover it up.
Oh, okay.
It's not the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I thought that, also that nobody is allowed to fly over the North or South Poles.
So like I think this is actually a true thing though. So
Yes.
like I think I remember watching a show where they were talking about this bullshit. And it like how you can like track airplane traffic and it kind of shows you like the lines of like where they're going and stuff. They showed the North Pole, for instance, and it's literally like almost like a what is it called? A pentagon?
Mhm.
Pentagon. No, it's like the 5-sided thing
Yeah.
where it looked like that around the pole. Like all the
Hexagon.
planes were like diverted
Yeah.
around
but,
it. Like
like,
no,
I mean,
like there's no lines
for
going right over the
safety
pole.
wise,
That's what I'm saying. Would
Yeah,
that
it's
have to
like
do with the
magnetic.
magnetic
if something
poles
happened
Yeah.
in those regions,
that they know
there
enough to
is
stay away
zero
from that?
chance you're getting saved.
Well,
So,
I mean,
the way I would see it is,
if you crash in
Yeah,
any
good
plane, you're
point.
fucking probably not going to say no matter where it is.
yeah, but like
Oh, yeah.
if there were survivors, they'd freeze to death long before you were
No,
ever able to get there.
they would have went to the center of the earth where it's warm and
Where
lush.
it's
Yeah.
warm in there.
Where there's nothing but aliens and mammoths and
Mammoths.
Vikings.
Oh,
and
man, yeah.
you best hope you have blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Germans aren't going to like you too much if you're down there.
No. Yeah, they're going to be mad. They're going to be mad about it.
But yeah, that like we said, man, they just didn't want. They do that to stop people from finding out the truth.
Right.
Yeah, but why is it always got to be a conspiracy? Well, I guess it's because it can't be proven yet. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
Well, that's
No,
the
the
theory of
conspiracy sits
conspiracy
there.
theory.
yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no such thing as conspiracy fact.
Yeah.
know what I
that's-
mean?
yeah, that's a good point.
There isn't.
I mean, it's a fact that there's a million conspiracies.
Now, do I
But
believe
that's-
NASA and shit like that hide stuff? Yeah, 100%.
I think they absolutely do.
100%. I
They
have
absolutely do
zero
that.
doubt of that.
There's folks that worked for NASA verify that, like one of this lady, she allegedly was friends with Wernher von Braun in a
Okay.
paperclip. Nazi scientist came
Yep.
over with the V2 stuff and built the fucking space program, right?
Yeah.
That she was part of that. Like her job was to fucking doctor pictures of like flying saucers and like bases on the moon and shit like that. Like that was her job. Like that's what she did for a living.
Well, I mean, you would think, dude, like, if these entrances are at the poles,
Mhm.
then, I would think, NASA and ISS and all them would probably have to eventually cut tape, you know what I'm saying? Because if there's as much traffic around these as they, seem to think,
Right.
then I would think eventually, yeah, you would catch
I mean,
air
all it would
traffic
take,
coming from Earth or whatever.
all
Right.
it would take is one person, though,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
to
Yeah.
fly over there or to make a trip over there.
You can't.
There's plenty of people with the money.
Like, you can't go to Antarctica on a whim, dude. It's like government controlled shit, like UN
Bro.
controlled. Like, you cannot just
Yeah, I
go
was just
there
gonna
whenever you
say
want
that. Yeah,
to.
you have to get permission from like a certain amount of countries.
Well,
from
you
the
can
UN.
take
Because they're neutral ground.
Well, I heard that I know you can take a cruise or to the Antarctic.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna get off and like walk around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, you can go and like see like the outside of Antarctica from
Yeah.
like South America, and then you fucking leave. You know what I mean? Like, that seems like the worst vacation ever.
Yeah, like you go
like-
outside and you freeze your
Yeah,
tits
why
off.
would I want to fucking do that? That's
Yeah, like fuck that.
terrible. Like, you mean I just left Chile where there's like parties all the time and fucking
Yeah.
big booty chicks walking around all over to come to fucking Antarctica?
Yeah,
Fuck out of here. I'm doing that. I'm gonna stay
that's
right there.
insane.
Yeah,
I mean, that's all it would take, though, is like one of these people, though,
yeah,
to go there. Yeah, you might get in trouble with the UN,
yeah.
but if you find a giant, I think one of these conspiracy theories said this hole is like 1,500 miles wide.
Really?
Pretty fucking.
That's a big
man.
fucking hole, dude.
Yeah, that's a big
Yeah.
fucking- it is.
Yeah,
Like-
that's big.
Even if it was 10 miles across, it's
That's
still
big.
pretty damn big
Yeah.
hole. Like,
For
if you
sure.
were to find something like that
I
and
mean,
bring
10
back
miles
proof,
across, you could easily land. a
what
plane in it.
government is going to do anything to you? It wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think-
you might get suicided, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I was just gonna say.
if you made a big enough stink about it, the truth would be out there long before you were able to be suicided.
They'll get you. They'll get you one way or another.
Yeah.
If they really
Yeah.
want you, they'll get you.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you now, you're not just gonna go fuck it, jump in a plane and fly. Like, you'll be shot down out of the sky well before you've ever reached.
They're gonna see you coming
Yeah,
from a long ways away.
yeah, a couple thousand miles away. They're gonna see you, bro.
Yeah, there's no way you're getting there, dude. No fucking way. No fucking way. But they got robots and shit, you know what I mean, up there watching it, shooting you down with laser beams.
Yeah, they got the T-100s. Man in the shores.
And then your plane mysteriously had engine failure due to inclement weather.
Yeah. It's like giant Gundams up there shooting people down. All right, well, that's the Hollow Earth, man. It's pretty good. I like this one a lot, actually. I mean, I do
this
like
one
it more
was
than
pretty
Flat Earth.
fun.
Yeah, I like it more than Flat Earth.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I definitely prefer this theory.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
if I
It's
had
got
to
more
choose-
meat on it. if
it's a
nothing
thinking
else.
man's conspiracy theory, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if I was gonna have to go out there and try to harp on one or the other,
It'd be Hollow.
Hollow
Yeah.
Earth seems a little more believable.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Sure,
But it's a mystery,
it is.
man. It's a mystery,
It's the
and
main one.
we'll never find out
No.
ever. Well, I mean, when I say we, I mean like the three of us.
Oh, yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
never find out
I'm sure somebody knows.
because
Well,
none
then,
of us
see,
are going
then
to
you got the
Antarctica,
problem of,
and none of us have like
why
our
is it
pilot's
not?
license, so we're not
Yeah.
going anywhere.
yeah. Well, see, then you got the problem of too, if feeds into it is, why am I not allowed to go there?
Environmental reasons.
Yeah.
Because Antarctica is not controlled by any one country; it's controlled by the UN. So you have to get permission from like essentially everybody
Yeah.
Yeah.
to go down there.
Yeah, but why is the question? It can't be environmental. What's one dude gonna do? Or even
Yeah.
a group.
Yeah,
Even if you leave a mess there, it's gonna get buried in snow and never seen again.
yeah. Well, there's definitely some shit going on down there. John Kerry and Buzz Aldrin were down there for no fucking reason a couple years
Yeah,
ago.
I mean, when old Buzz is involved,
I didn't hear about that actually.
Dude, at like 99 years old, he was
Yeah.
down in Antarctica. Something happened to him. They had to fly him to like New Zealand or Australia or something like
Yeah,
that. to
because he's
get a
fucking
medical
99
attention.
years old and they have
Yeah.
negative 100-degree weather.
Dude, this guy's wearing a sweater when it's 85 degrees outside. You're gonna send him to fucking Antarctica?
He's gonna need
but you
5
know, kind of makes you think why they brought along a man that went to the moon
Yeah.
because they brought along a man who
to
has
Antarctica.
been
They're
in contact
supposedly
with
aliens.
aliens.
Exactly. I mean, he's got.
I doubt John Kerry.
Cred.
I doubt John Kerry's been in contact with fucking aliens. Although he kind of looks like he might be an alien. You know what I mean? Like if aliens were like Frankenstein monsters, you know what I mean? Because that's what it kind of reminds you of. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us, and be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Gamma Ray Podcast. Check us out on YouTube at Gamma Ray Podcast. We should have some new videos up this week if I feel like getting to them. And as always, guys, we love you so much. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
See y'all later.
Bye.
Have a good one.